What? Well, hello and welcome to the Under 13 National League Plate Final. This one will pit St Oliver Plunkett against Glentoran. Players in your picture there. And it will be played here on grass at the Lurgan Town Arena, where Lurgan Town play their first team games. It's a lovely morning for football, and this one of 8 finals being played here at Lurgan Town today. We'll run through the 2 team lineups in just a second. See in the distance the St Oliver Plunkett players. And the Glens near side. Referee today will be Graham Mitchell. And Plunkett will have captain Kieran McKee in goal. Bobby Lowe, Fintan Killilay, Keelan McMahon, Patrick Carson, Tom Crudden, Ku Mahara Shannon, Kevin Murray, Pierce Cassidy, Tom Quinn and Thomas Harbinson complete the 11. For Glentoran, it's Christian Irvine in goal, Conal Mulholland, Adam Johnson, Kobe Ward, Bobby McCulloch, Ryan Medine is the skipper, Mason Fitzsimmons, Conal Loughran, Ethan Lowry, Dermot Logan, and the 11 starters are completed by Charlie Mallon. On the bench for the Glens is Tate Lester, Joseph Shaw and Ronan Cunningham. And for Plunkett, Keelan McGaffin, Conor McShane, Taylor McGee, Leon Lavery and Bobby Munster are amongst the substitutes. So 5 subs named by Sean Paul Gallagher for St Oliver Plunkett, and just 3 then for the Glens as the referee. Graham Mitchell takes a look and checks we've got the right number of players on the pitch. And we're about to get underway then in this Under 13 National League Plate Final between St Oliver Plunkett, playing from left to right as we look here, and Plunkett in their traditional black and white stripes. It's their captain, Kieran McKee. He makes the clearance. Kumahara Shannon couldn't keep the ball in. Free kick then to Glentoran. And that free kick will be taken by Charlie Mallon. And the wall has been set. Mallon. Goalkeeper Kieran McKee is under it. He plays the ball right to Keelan McMahon. Plunkett keen to get the ball in their possession. Glens make the clearance. Here's a turn. An opportunity for Plunkett to chase this one down. They do win corner kick. So corner kick coming up for Plunkett. Taylor McGee. Late change. One of a couple for Plunkett here. Taylor McGee and Conor McShane starting. And unfortunately for Plunkett, couldn't direct that in towards the 6-yard box. So Plunkett's National League team we're seeing here, and haven't won in their last 5 games. In fact, their last win was a penalty success in the previous round of this competition against Windmill Stars, when the game finished 1 apiece in normal time. You see attempted cross coming into that Glentoran box. Last 3 games for Plunkett in a 6-0 reverse away at Ballinamalard. They lost by 5 goals to 1 against Crusaders, and the last time out it was 2-0 to Loughgall. And that was in the under-13 Premier Division of the National League. Turning to the Glens then. It's been a different route way for them. They came out on top against Glenavon in the last round of this competition. In the semi-final they've played, winning by 4 goals to 0. You have to go all the way back to early February for the Glens' last defeat. That was against Loughgall in the National League. So you look at Plunkett come forward here. Chance for the Glens to clear their lines, which they haven't done to date. And they may do this time around. Clearance from Conal Loughran. Glentoran come away with possession here, up over halfway. It's Mason Fitzsimmons. Lovely ball over the top from Fitzsimmons. And a great cut inside. And there's the game's first goal for Charlie Mallon for Glentoran. And that was a terrific move from the Glens. Just 5 minutes on the clock. And Glentoran with that fine ball from Mason Fitzsimmons up and over the top. Plenty of room here, of course, up on the grass pitch. But that long and accurate pass found its man in Charlie Mallon, who cut inside. He looked up, looked at the corner, and he executed that perfectly. Dispatched it past Kieran McKee, and it's the Glens who lead here by a goal to 0. Great goal, easy on the eye as well. That is the start that David Fitzsimmons would have wanted from his side. Glentoran's under 13 side here, unbeaten in their last 12. And 11 of those games have finished in successes. Just the one draw in that time. That was against TriStar. And a 1-1 end to that game. Glens have scored 19 goals in their last 5 games, so they're all about goals. And they've hit the target here early on in this under-13 National League plate final. Charlie Mallon's fine strike. So Glenn's first real attacking chance of note. just stopped momentarily. Again, it's a long ball here over the top to Charlie Mallon. Almost a second opportunity. They are liking that ball over the top, taking the St Oliver Plunkett defence on for pace. A minutes gone. Glentoran leading by goal to nil. Taking corner kick short here. Can they get the cross in? Plunkett. Very nearly getting possession there. Fitzsimmons, chance to cross again. Back to the goal scorer. Good defending this time. Trying to stick tight to Charlie Mallon. It was Patrick Carson who went with him. This game, 30 minutes each way. 10 minutes each way if it goes to extra time, ahead of the dreaded penalties that nobody really wants. Let's hope we get a result in normal time.
Thank you. Dan, you take it, look for the corners. Charlie, start moving.
That's a great free kick. Plenty of air on that one. And flicked on. Chance for Dermot Logan to chase this. Throwing then to Plunkett. In fact, that's been changed to a free kick. Free kick for Taylor McGee. And hook forward. Neat header back to Kieran McKee, captain of St Oliver Plunkett. Almost coming straight back though at the Plunkett defence. The Glens really have taken a stranglehold here. Looked to be a high foot there. A challenge on the Glentoran player, Bobby McCulloch. Plunkett sitting back and allowing Glentoran to get comfortable in possession, much to the frustration of the Plunkett fans. Again, good build up from the Glens. Opportunity for Conal Mulholland. Get the cross in. Clearance to Glen 17. Ethan Lowry. So Plunkett trailing here by a goal to nil against Glentoran. And that really was the culmination of a fine move, the goal on 5 minutes. Charlie Mallon finding the far corner after a pinpoint Mason Fitzsimmons ball over the top. And the Glens are keen on doubling that advantage in this under-13 National League Plate final. With extra time in the Rosario Arma City under-16 National League Cup final. Finished 2 apiece in that one. And in the first final of the day, the under-12 National League Cup final, it was Linfield who came out on top in that one, beating Crusaders by 3 goals to 1. great day for football. An excellent venue here as well in Lurgan.
Good, Ryan. Glentoran, settle on the ball. Play the football, come on. Mason's head. Dermot, drop.
So Plunkett standing firm since conceding after 5 minutes, but they've really struggled to mount anything by way of an attack so far. Glens have been well organised. Credit in defensive terms there. Throw in then to Sean Paul Gallagher's St Oliver Plunkett side. Opportunity potentially to get a shot away on the turn here, but it's strong Glentoran defending. Pierce Cassidy is trying to test the Glens goalkeeper. Ball's into the box there and ultimately comes off Cassidy. And that'll be a goal kick to Glentoran, leading here by 1-0. Break here for water after almost 15 minutes. It's a deliberate ploy, I would suggest, given the warm weather conditions today. So a quick break to get some water on board for both sets of players here then, and an opportunity with it for both sets of coaches to have a word with their players. Glentoran were closest to us there, and you could definitely see that David Fitzsimmons was marking on some orders and passing on some expertise. Bobby McCulloch in possession for Glentoran. That's a good challenge by Keelan McMahon for St Oliver Plunkett. Corner kick though, defending to do here for the team in black and white. Conal Lochran has this corner kick. What can he make of it? Lochran.
Good, Connell, keep going.
Mulholland was giving chase there, but judged by Graham Mitchell to have pulled the jersey off his marker.
It's a goal side of it, Mason, where are you? Good, a ball. Good, Charlie. Pull the way.
Should be a Plunkett throw in on this near side.
Now come up.
We've played 18, almost 18 and a half minutes. We'll have time added on at the end of this half for that minute or so. Water break, maybe amounted to 90 seconds in total. Good turn here from the goal scorer, Charlie Mallon. Now the ball's with Bobby McCulloch. McCulloch, he's up against McMahon. The ball looked to have gone out. And that'll be a Glentoran throw-in. More defending to do for St Oliver Plunkett in this under-13 National League plate final. And the game's coming thick and fast today. Into extra time in that Rosario Armas City National League Cup under-16 final.
Hands in the back. Super AJ. Support him.
And next up,
Keep the ball.
it'll be at the conclusion of that Rosario and Armas City game. It's the under-13 National League Cup final between Cliftonville and Linfield. Also coming up today, you have the National League under-16 plate final between Ballymoney and Ballyclare Comrades. Larne Youth take on Cliftonville in the under-15 National League Cup final. That one due to start at 2 o'clock. And the remaining two games, it's Hillsborough Boys against Loughgall Youth in the National League under-15 plate final. Whilst in the under-18s, it's Plunkett against Ballymoney United, and that one due to start at 4. So, lots to savour today in terms of finals. Can Plunkett get themselves back on level terms before the break? Taylor McGee about to take the throw in as before. You see two changes for Plunkett. So coming on there, Leon Lavery was one of the two alterations, and Thomas Harbinson the other.
Get the shit. Keep the ball. Go. Go.
Ethan Larry will take this throw for Glentoran, and he'll look down the line to Charlie Mallon. Mallon gives chase. The flick on was from Mason Fitzsimmons. Oh, shot was on target from Mason Fitzsimmons. Worth an effort. Straight at the goalkeeper, Kieran McKee, though. Now potentially a chance here for Plunkett. And Lowry snuffed that out. Thomas Harbinson, it's his first touch since coming on. Couldn't get the ball out of his feet, and it was good pressure he was under from a Glentoran perspective from Ethan Lowry. Throw goes the way of Plunkett. And in extra time of the Under-16 National League Cup final, Armagh City have gone in front. They're up against Rosario, leading by 3 goals to 2 in the first period of extra time. 6 minutes plus any stoppages in this first half at the Lurgan Town Arena in this Under-13 National League play-it final. As the Glens with the ever so slender advantage here. Lowry with the challenge on Harbinson. Ball down the line was just a little too hot to handle, and that'll be a throw in which Bobby Lowe will go across and take for Plunkett. Lowe. Now Harbinson. It's good defending from Ethan Lowry. Let the ball go under his legs and straight out off a Plunkett player. Adam Johnson gives it to Lowry. Haven't had too much to do at the back, Glentoran. And anything they have had to tidy up. They've done very well indeed. Here's Mulholland. Cuts one way, then the other. Mulholland hits the top of the crossbar, Conal Mulholland. And that was very nearly 2-0 to Glentoran. An easy run from Conal Mulholland onto his left foot. And I'm not sure Kieran McKee would have got there. Oh, there's the game's second goal. And again, it's the Glens who've scored. So that task becomes just that little bit more difficult for St Oliver Plunkett. And the side from the oval go further in front here as we edge towards half time. It's Bobby McCulloch, by my makings, who scored the goal on that occasion, just seconds after Conal Mulholland's shot hit the top of the bar. But now 2-goal buffer handed to Glentoran by Bobby McCulloch. And the Plunkett goalkeeper and skipper Kieran McKee just couldn't get to that ball. Glentoran build again from the back. Ethan Lowry cuts inside, and now it's with Mulholland. And the Glens really starting to knock the football around with a lot of confidence. Good challenge there to win the ball back. from Conal Loughlin. Loughlin's still going here. The judge to have pulled back his man at the end of that move. That'll be a Plunkett free kick just inside their own half. Trailing here by 2-0, and yet to really trouble the Glentoran number 1 Christian Irvine. Harbinson looks for options, and ball just a little too much ahead of Conor McShane. And the Glens foraging forward again. Could be a cut back here for Mallon. Oh, great move. The ball taken off Kieran McKee, who made the save. But Mallon stinging the palms of Plunkett's number 1. And that was well back from Kobe Ward of Glentoran again. They go up and over the top. Last minute of normal time inside the first half in this Under-13 National League Plate final. We will have, I would say, at least 2 minutes to add on, given the break for players to take on water. That was after 15 minutes here. A couple of more tweaks for Plunkett. See the management of Plunkett looking on. Can they get a goal back as we move beyond the 30-minute mark here? Ball from McCulloch. Dermot Lugan couldn't take it first time. Now a chance for the Glens to break again with Mallon. Good hold up play from the Glens front man. Plunkett clear the danger though. Now it's with Pierce Cassidy. He wins the throw. Cassidy to Leon Lavery. Harbinson up against Lowry. Nathan Lowry has won just about every 50-50 in there. Mallon, he's shaped to play the pass, and in the end he held on to it, but didn't quite work out in the end. Nice step over. Was from Tom Quinn. Again, Plunkett unable to make anything of that. The ball smashed downfield by McKee. Bit of tidying up needed here. And Glentoran's goalkeeper comes. It's one of the first touches he's had here. And we've played almost 32 minutes here. Christian Irvine in possession. And send it downfield left-footed, and there is the whistle to signify the end of the first half here at the Lurgan Arena in this Under-13 National League Plate final. And it is at half-time advantage Glentoran, who took the lead here. Mason Fitzsimmons with a glorious ball over the top to Charlie Mallon, who made no mistake, the Glentoran number 9. And then came that Bobby McCulloch goal to give the Glens a bit of a buffer here at the break. Plunkett with it all to do after the break.
Lads, come on out, bring us 10 seconds.
Let's keep her going, Dermot.
Kobe, Mason, let's go.
Oh, it seemed to be alright, get that.
Kobe, let's go.
Yeah, still full. Two left on her. She'll finish this one. For welding them. Yeah, oh no, and that thing's very hard to sell. Where'd you get that? Some of them sites. Yeah. What? We really not stick. What's our moves after this one?
Well, welcome back to this Under-13 National League Plate final between St Oliver Plunkett and Glentoran, and it's the Glens leading here by 2-0 to break. Goals from Charlie Mallon and Bobby McCulloch. And Plunkett have struggled to test the Glentoran back line. And the Glens goalkeeper, Christian Irvine, has been a mere bystander for a lot of the first half. So, almost ready. It'll be 30 minutes each way here. And the second of those 30s underway. Early touch for Plunkett skipper Kieran McKee. Heavy touch from Cassidy for Plunkett. Still going is Mason Fitzsimmons, who has feet caught there. Fitzsimmons with the assist for the game's first goal in 5 minutes. Actually had a shot of his own that was saved by Kieran McKee on 23, so has been a central figure today for Glentoran. Just a reminder, this one of 8 finals being played at the Lurgan Arena. Across a number of pitches here today. Armagh City and Rosario into extra time, the Under-16 National League Cup final. And Armagh City leading by 4-2 now. Game still being played. Here come Plunkett. Keelan McGaffin it is who's come on. 5 subs named by Sean Paul Gallagher for this National League Plate final.
Pick him up! Okay, go back!
Throw in goes against Plunkett. Yeah, this Glentoran team very nearly went 2-0 ahead when Conal Mulholland went on a mazy run. It was 4 minutes before half time. Cut inside onto his left foot before unleashing a shot that clipped the top of the St Oliver Plunkett crossbar. But they did manage a second goal not long after that. Through McCulloch. So Rosario still not out of things in that Under-16 National League Cup final. They've scored for a 3rd time, so it's Rosario 3, Armagh City 4. That's 7 goals in total. You get a look at the vista here in Lurgan. Plenty of pitches, well maintained as well, and a combination of 4G and this pitch, which is very definitely traditional grass surface, which brings with it Some difficult and different challenges in terms of how the ball runs, and we'd have to say that it's probably better surface to make a tackle on, to challenge on. Maybe not just as true a bounce though. Armagh City have come out victorious in the Under-16 National League Cup final. They are the champions this season at Under-16s. Now the goalkeeper, he's misjudged that one, and Plunkett are back in it. All of a sudden, and out of nowhere, the goalkeeper is misjudging the ball that dropped just in front of him. And Plunkett have got themselves back in this game. It's St Oliver Plunkett 1, it's Glentoran 2. Plenty of time remaining here for Plunkett. So Plunkett, who had not troubled Christian Irvine in the Glens goal, certainly not in the opening half anyway. They've got themselves to within a goal of Glentoran here. It looks like Pierce Cassidy got the final touch for St Oliver Plunkett. And he has brought Sean Paul Gallagher's side back into this game. Now can the Glens score again? Opportunity here, and they have indeed. And it's a second goal for Bobby McCulloch. The Glens number 16, he was there to poach that opportunity. It looked as if the ball was going to fall to Charlie Mallon. In the end though, it squirted off to the right hand side, and there was Bobby McCulloch to drive the ball home. And again Glentoran restored that 2-goal buffer. Second goal for McCulloch. And a third for Glentoran, managed by David Fitzsimmons here. So 2 goals in the first half, both for Glentoran, and a goal apiece in the second half. 4 goals. Are we going to see some more here? Just as Plunkett had got back into the game. As we see another ball into the box, this time easily picked up by Irvine. But the Glens had shut the door again.
No, get up and out. Look for the corner. Charlie, wide. That'll do this. Keep checking Christian.
Ethan Lowry has the throw, looks for options either side for Glentoran. Fitzsimmons came short. He went long instead. Opportunity for switch of play. It's picked up by Tom Quinn. Still going here. Here's Harbinson for Plunkett. And now it's with Cassidy. Cassidy. That's a great shot there and a great save as well. Conor McShane with the shot. That was well kept out by Christian Irvine. So Glentoran know they need to be on their guard here. Almost at the 40-minute mark. 20 minutes to play. We see more changes here. Tom Quinn going off for Plunkett. And Joseph Shaw, one of the changes for Glentoran. That's Mason Fitzsimmons coming off. Here's Mallon on halfway. He knows where the goal is. Mallon. Good front play that from Mallon, despite not getting everything onto that shot. You can see he's looking up. Once he got the ball in the halfway line, driving towards goal. In the end, it didn't quite trouble the Plunkett keeper. Harbinson. Here is McCulloch. He's on a hat trick, of course, for Glentoran. Solid defending from Keelan McMahon. Tate Lester comes on for Glentoran. Conor Mulholland, who comes off. Lowry looking to mount an attack to potentially increase Glentoran's lead beyond this 2-goal buffer. Plunkett doing everything they can to thwart the Glens here. Reminder of the story of the game so far. The Glens leading just after 5 minutes or so here. That opening goal scored by Charlie Mallon. It's quite the hit as well. Bobby McCulloch made it 2-0. And then came that effort from Pierce Cassidy. That reduced the arrears. It was 2-1 at that stage, but within 90 seconds, Bobby McCulloch had scored for the second time. Not just as straightforward for Glentoran in this one. From their 4-0 success against Glenavon in the semi-final. Dermot Logan and Bobby McCulloch very much amongst the goals in the semi-final as well. We're going to get another stoppage for both sets of players here to get some water on board. There's even a spray bottle being used by Plunkett's players. A novel idea, akin to something that a barber would use in hairdressers. Good use of that piece of equipment, I suppose. And the chance for Sean Paul Gallagher and his team to give a few instructions to these young players. Opportunity, of course, for them to take home some silverware in the form of the National League plate. So that's the third cup final today. Linfield, who won the first showpiece finale, beating Crusaders. And Armagh City lifting the Under-16 National League Cup. It looks in this one as if Glentoran have the advantage and potentially one hand on the plate. Coming up very soon is the Under-13 National League Cup final game. And it pits the Reds against the Blues. That's Cliftonville against Linfield. And we 4 other games to come throughout the rest of today's proceedings. That's Ballymoney against Ballyclare. It's Larne hosting Cliftonville's Under-15s. Loughgall up against Hillsborough Boys. And Plunkett's 18s. They're involved later on. That's due to be a 4 p.m. kickoff. It could kick off slightly later as we've had extra time in one of those matches on that pitch. Hopefully not too much later. That's Plunkett up against Ballymoney United. Back underway here though. And Glentoran with that 3-1 advantage. Plunkett in possession. Free kick to be taken by McMahon. That's chipped downfield. High ball. Isn't instantly picked up by Plunkett. That's a decent ball into the area from Taylor McGee. Hillsborough Boys flag flying in the background there. Red, white and black colours. We'll be playing on this pitch at 3:15 against Loughgall. Their supporters have been here early obviously to put that up. Lots of pedigree, of course. Hillsborough Boys. Down the years. Bobby McCulloch puts the Plunkett defence under pressure. Now you can see the throw in on the far side, and here once again is Ethan Lowry. It's picked up by Tate Lester. Plunkett 1, Glentoran 3, and 11 minutes of normal time to go here. Let's say we'll have some stoppages again, just as we did in the opening half. And once the referee decided here, Graham Mitchell wants the goal kick taken again. All right, free kick Glentoran. You'd have to feel if they did get a fourth goal here without reply, that the Glens would go on and lift the plate. Might get an opportunity here. Opportunity for a shot is expertly blocked by Plunkett. Now here's McCulloch. Free kick given against Glentoran this time. There's a shot on goal, and it's wound its way into the top corner again. And Plunkett back in this is Leon Lavery with the goal. A high lobbed shot in on top of Christian Irvine. And with 8 minutes to go of regular time, Leon Lavery brings St. Oliver Plunkett right back in this one. Chance for Glentoran to hit back down the other end. Nothing to worry about there for Plunkett's defenders and goalkeeper McKee. Joseph Shaw leaving the throw in, which will be taken by Conal Loughran. Ball's hooked into the 18-yard box and beyond Mallon. And that's cleared by Harbinson, came off the Glentoran player. And all the confidence being shown now by Plunkett. Lowry. Too close to the goalkeeper this time, but you can see Plunkett having got themselves the second goal here. Definitely the team looking the more likely. Shaw. Goalkeeper comes. They needed him, Kieran McKee, and as the skipper, he's keen to get his side back in the front foot here. So Plunkett 2, Glentoran 3. Hook partially clear. Here's Shaw.
Just hold it up, let him come behind you. Nothing fancy. Come on, son. Boys, no. He's in behind Joseph. Up the lane. Joseph, get up there.
Here come the Glens. Here's McCulloch. Challenge on him. Doesn't get the ball. McCulloch to Mallon. And somehow Plunkett keep it out. Good save there from Kieran McKee.
Here, the way you go there, if he's going, you go. Laurie, just set it. Oh, no, sorry, no, it's 10. Here, Mason, here, 10 your runs.
Here comes the Glentoran corner kick, which doesn't clear the front post. Glentoran player down here, and the referee has stopped the game.
Mason, just cover for 2 seconds, how it's in. Here, in quickly, you're shot right out of
Here in Linfield have taken the lead in the Under-13 National League Cup final against Cliftonville. Fitzsimmons. Cunningham with the pass. Now it's with Joseph Shaw. Shaw inside. Taken up by Cunningham. Now it's with Mallon. And he's had two absolutely quality chances there. Has Charlie Mallon. Gilt-edged chances at that. Somehow Glentoran's number 9 couldn't hit the net. Again, St Oliver Plunkett's number 1, Kieran McKee, came to the rescue of his team. Time running out though for Plunkett. They just need the one opportunity though. One chance for a shot. Here comes goalkeeper Christian Irvine, who does well. Calms the play down. He'll clear his lines up towards halfway. Mallon. Cliftonville draw level in the Under-13 National League Cup finals. Cliftonville 1, Linfield 1. Here's Cassidy. Still going here for Plunkett. And good covering for Glentoran by the skipper Ryan Medine. Clearance for the Glens, just what they needed, and that gives Mallon the opportunity to break clear. Still going here, Mallon, but opportunistic in the end from Mallon, bit adventurous at that. And just 30 seconds of normal time remaining here. Couple of minutes of stoppage time, I would anticipate. We'll be getting added on. Here's McCulloch. Very nearly a third goal for him. Again thwarted by Kieran McKee. It's end-to-end action here. Corner kick. Here's Lochran. Deep cross into the 6-yard box. A chance for Shaw, maybe. And it's McCulloch. He's been waiting the whole time to score his hat-trick. And there it is. And that surely has put the icing on the cake for Glentoran here. Bobby McCulloch right at the end. And Glentoran are going to come out as the victors here in this under-13 National League plate competition. Plunkett 2, Glentoran 4. Ball down the line looking for Shaw. Shaw did well to keep the ball in. And second time around as well. And Glentoran maybe aren't finished here. Here's Mallon. Mallon. Just wide of the target from him. Oh, Glentoran just awaiting the referee's full-time whistle. Mullen into the area. Shaw back again to Mullen. Over the top this time. Game still has life in it here.
Hold it up.
Cassidy. Good challenge there from Adam Johnson for Glentoran. Deep ball, which still hasn't run out of play. It's headed on initially by Kevin Murray. What's the referee spotted here? Has he given a penalty? I think he has to Plunkett late on in this game. So Plunkett with an opportunity. To make it 3-4. I think it may be a case of too little too late though. It's Taylor McGee. Up against Christian Irvine. McGee against Irvine. Which way will they go? And McGee into the corner, and that makes it St Oliver Plunkett 3, Glentoran 4. Couldn't be long left in this one now. 7 goals here. Taylor McGee holding his nerve. Nice placement into the corner. Glentoran holding this 1-goal advantage. We're in now to the 66th minute. Another throw in to Glentoran. Ethan Lowry. He'll take it. Gives it to Fitzsimmons. Far corner. There is the full-time whistle. And it's Glentoran who win the Under-13 National League Plate final by 4-3. They had led 2-0 at half-time. Those goals coming courtesy of Charlie Mallon and Bobby McCulloch in the first half. Pierce Cassidy got a goal back to make it 2-1 after the break, but Bobby McCulloch scored twice after that. Sandwiched in between was a goal from Leon Lavery. At that stage it was 4-2. Plunkett won a penalty in the 4th minute of stoppage time at the end of the game. Step up Taylor McGee to reduce the arrears to 3-4, but that's how it finished. Glentoran, the Under-13 National League Plate winners this season. St Oliver Plunkett 3, Glentoran 4.